It's a cliche to say we're in a time of accelerated communication. It's also a cliche to say it's a cliche. Both cliches, nonetheless, as is the way of cliches, are true. We get our news faster, almost instantaneously, than has ever been known before. We also get it from more sources than ever before. I won't tire anybody with listing all the internet platforms and blogs that have entered Twitter and the 1,001 traditional and non-traditional personal news gatherers that are now present on the internet by the millions. But as a famous man once said about universities, more will mean worse. So also the multiplication and universal access to news does not mean we're getting better news than ages past. The multiplication means deeper and wider partisanship, the intrusion of advocacy, and the absolute confounding of news and opinion. And perhaps most oppressive of all, the growth of cable news channels, which in the main are a form of information leprosy. Check CNN. And there is yet one more pervasive influence, this one not technical, not born of competition, that contaminates the concept of present-day news, as it needs to be called. And that's the growth over the last 3 decades of the pernicious doctrine of political correctness, supplemented by the corresponding growth of ridiculous identity politics and the corrosion of intellectual authority that accompanies both. We don't have better news because this new ethos bans, either silently or explicitly, equal coverage or even any coverage that's inconsistent with approved thinking on certain topics and themes. And no area illustrates this more intensely than climate change. Climate change is one of the approved issues for most major media. The whole spectrum of media, in fact. It has the peripheral sources in this age when news and entertainment merge so incestuously. It owns Hollywood. It's good PR for a good cause that doesn't touch their yacht-soaked lives. The churches have wandered into this issue, merging faith and social justice till neither is distinguishable. Even the Pope is now on the global warming bandwagon. The schools and universities too. We could go on, but anyone thinking the slightest bit independently knows that the science is settled crowd have been successful in banning competition of argument. One crucial result, the many authorities, honest and educated people who have a variant view of this crisis are not heard. They're not on the news. But we know that skepticism is the major virtue of both science and journalism, or it was. But this new journalism and daily journalism has abandoned its function on this issue and has become a kind of Vatican, declaring as news agency it has infallibility on global warming and banning any divergent opinion. Political correctness and the cowardly need to be seen on the right side of a good cause has suffocated debate, warped news delivery, even as global warming infects every level of politics with ludicrous, exhaustive, and useless policies. There is another side, and that's what I'll gently try to demonstrate on this issue mainly, but on others too, in a series of interviews on YouTube. We'll find people who've not in the main been heard from, show some deliberate sympathy to those who contend that all the truth on this has not been found, and try to lift the clamps on an issue that has absorbed the minds of people all over the globe. There is another side, and we're going to air it.